Huh? Wow, crazy. All right, we are here, week 3 of virus virus updates and photography. There we are. So hope everybody's doing well. Got James from sunny North Carolina.
It was beautiful today.
Yeah, it was nice here, except for the pollen. Man, we are in the middle of pollen season, that is for sure. I think our pollen count was 9,000 here in Atlanta today. So you have a high pollen there, I'm sure?
Yeah, but I didn't pay much notice of it because it doesn't affect me.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to. That was my next question, whether you have allergies or not. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes. I have mild, but not too bad. I mean, nothing that.
How's the virus coming along in Atlanta?
Hopefully not real good.
Hopefully not real good. You mean?
Oh no, I mean I hope the virus isn't doing well. It's increasing though. The number of cases are going up. You know, they're doing more testing, just like they are everywhere. So the more they test, the more they find. So I don't know, the numbers I think nationally have gone up a lot. It doubled, probably more than doubled in the last week. So, but you know, I think that's just a matter of they're doing a lot more testing. So there's just a lot of people out there that have it. That
do you work from home or do you go in the office?
No, this is my office. Yeah, I work from home.
Oh, so regardless, then you work from home.
Yeah. So I've been doing this for 4 years now, but my wife is working from home. She'll be starting her 3rd week, so she's been at home 2 weeks now, and starting her 3rd week. So
does she like it?
I think generally she does. Her preference is to go into the office when she can, but obviously she can't now. So she's just got her her monitors and laptop set up on her on the dining room table. So that's her office. But she keeps the same schedule. You know, she gets up at the same time, starts work at the same time, takes her breaks or lunch, ends all at the same time. So it's just pretty much exactly the same as if she was commuting into work.
There he is.
Hey, there's Dennis.
Where you been? No time, no here.
Yeah.
Where you been? No time, no here.
Yeah, sorry about that. Must be at least 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, you guys are in lockdown completely, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
The whole country.
Yeah, it's not good.
If
you go out, you got to have a valid reason, like you're going to go shopping or you're helping someone who can't go out.
Do you have to have a note saying that you're allowed to do it, or do you just have to be able to justify why you're outside of somebody?
Yeah, if they ask you, you've got to justify where you're going.
Okay.
If you're going to work, you're an essential worker, then that's okay. But we got some arseholes roaming around in this country as well. Who think they can just do what they like.
Yeah. That's the way it is everywhere. I'm sure it is in Florida and California, huh, guys?
Yeah, they're dishing out £60 fine if you go out without a valid reason.
Now, is a valid reason to go out and exercise? Are they ticketing people?
You're allowed to go out and exercise.
But you got to be by yourself, right?
Yeah, once a day, by yourself or with someone in your own household.
Okay.
Yeah, not more than 2 people together.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, what happens when you get caught looting a store? You just tell the cop you're exercising.
Yeah, I'm out exercising.
Yeah, it depends how far away from home you are.
Yeah.
Some guy drives 100 miles up into the road. Just go for a walk.
Yeah.
That's the same thing here. We were told to stay in, but at the same time, we were told we could go out for a walk.
Yeah. Well, they just don't want you out, milling around with a large group of people. I mean, that's I mean, I think it's perfectly safe if you go out and you're by yourself, and if you come across other people, if you kind of stay distance. I mean, I don't think there's anything that's been shown that's any more dangerous than anything else. So
I mean, if I go out to the coastline taking pictures and there's no one around and a cop walks up to me, I mean, come on, give me a break.
it's my exercise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now they've closed all the state parks. I heard California closed all the state parks.
Mm-hmm.
They did here in Georgia too.
Yeah.
Did they do it in Florida too, Wes?
Yeah, the state parks are closed.
Yeah.
Which is
Even
unfortunate
out-
because that's a place people could go and get some exercise and stay away from each other. But
Yeah.
Our local parks are closed. You can't go anywhere. Yeah.
yeah, and any places around here, they're like playground type parks. They've closed, but like the nature preserve type parks are still open.
Okay.
The city and county parks.
Okay. Yeah. See, they
The
closed.
deaths going up here. Another few hundred die today.
Yeah. I was just looking at the little. Have you guys looked at this screen? This is. I found it to be a pretty good, fairly honest arbiter of what's going on across the world.
Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, Johns Hopkins. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they update it, I don't know, every hour or two. So yeah, in the UK, they go in total cases, deaths, and then recovered. And then you can dig down, I think. Yeah. So they've got the different areas of where things are confirmed.
Yeah,
So-
London seems to be our worst area.
Yeah. That's definitely it. For us, it's New York City. I mean, U.S. has about 137,000 confirmed cases, and then you get New York City. Well, New York has 59,000 of the 130, so they've got almost half the confirmed cases just in New York. And then,
One of your doctors on our news just now was estimating between 100 and 200,000 Americans are going to die from this.
well, that's if they run the numbers, yeah, potentially, yeah. But you look at that, so there's 55,000 in the state of New York, and then New York City, just New York City itself is 34,000 out of that 137,000 for the whole country. So it's pretty, but that it's one of those things where they're doing massive testing. So they're finding a lot. Obviously, it's a very tightly packed, densely packed area. So there are a lot of people there, but they're just finding a lot of people that are testing positive, because they're testing everybody. So the question is it really, is everywhere else just like that as far as the percentage of people that have it? I don't know. But, they're not doing testing and they're not doing a lot of testing in Lincoln, Nebraska, for example. So how many people there, are having the same thing? So
Well, you just take a look at that map there, and it's red on both ends of the country. But
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
West of the Mississippi, and it's pretty sparse.
Yeah. I mean, this is the U.S. and obviously everything. The hot spot is over here. Metro areas. I mean, Atlanta's got 8 million people in it. Chicago's got 7 million people. So Detroit, but then you get up into, like North Dakota.
Should people in North Dakota be, forced to not work? And
Yeah, well, that's the.
it just doesn't make any sense to do a countrywide ban like that.
Yeah, but the challenge is if those people aren't if they're able to move about, do they go over here to Minneapolis and infect 20 people and then come back? That's
you can very easily make the argument is it's not as bad as one may think because people aren't traveling.
Yeah.
That's kind of a double-edged sword you walk there by implementing these kind of policies.
Yep.
And then people turn around and say, well, it wasn't so bad, so why did we have all of this massive
and
economic,
That's the tough part, but a virus doesn't care what the border is.
Exactly.
It's just looking for people to attach it, to host, to become a host. So, there's people that never show symptoms. They may just have a few sniffles and a cough, but they're potentially contagious for days before they have those few sniffles, and for a few days while they have it. So how many people do they interact with? in that time. So yeah,
The other thing is the New York people want to move out of New York, don't they? Go somewhere else where the virus isn't.
yeah. Well, their states are putting in. Was it Florida, Wes, that did that? Said if you come from New York, you've got to self quarantine.
Yeah, you're supposed to self quarantine for 15 days or 14 days or whatever.
And Rhode Island is doing that. They're actually out. If they notice a New York license plate on the roads in Rhode Island, they're stopping them and telling them you got to self quarantine. That type of stuff. So.
They told us, Mark, this would be about 12 or 13 weeks, but on the news this evening, they said it could take up to 6 months before the country returns to normal.
Yeah, it's completely unknown. I mean, you take a look. This is the U.S. This little chart that kind of shows the progression.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about flattening the curve. Well, in the U.S., the curve's not flattening; it's just going up at this point. So you got to get to the point where it's kind of leveling off a little bit, and we're not there yet. So
we're at least 2 to 3 weeks before that happens, and that may even be very optimistic.
Yeah, this whole 2 week, 15 days that they're talking about. We got to shelter, stay social distance, do 2 weeks to flatten it. You won't know whether that works until 2 weeks after that, because there's it's not like if you are exposed to it, you develop symptoms instantaneously. So it could be a week to 3 weeks or something like that. So
it seems like China's getting back to normal.
Who is?
China.
Well, supposedly, yeah.
I don't believe a thing coming out of that country.
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't believe a word they say.
See, here's China.
Boris Johnson said they're underestimating their deaths and cases by as much as 40 times.
Yeah. See, look at this. I mean, this is China's curve supposedly. So, you look at, as of March, they've supposedly flattened the curve for the most part. So they're saying since March 1st, they had basically 80,000 and now they have 82,000. So they've only added supposedly 2,000 cases in 5 weeks or 4 weeks. So I doubt it, but they've kicked out most journalists, and there's no way for anybody to verify it at this point.
They're also not counting people who have no symptoms. You've tested positive, but you have no symptoms, so they're not counting you either.
Yeah. So they're skewing the statistics a little bit because they want to show that they're not, that it's not increasing.
Right.
So they can, So
yeah,
who knows?
China is not going to come out of this whole thing unscathed politically.
No.
They're going to. Personally, I really hope they become a pariah.
Yeah. They did a lot of wrong things. They basically didn't tell anybody for a month. Is essentially what happened.
And then they purposely are shipping out defective ventilators.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. But the welcome to the new reality for a while, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anybody open for some borders?
In Italy, Mark.
Is anybody up for some open borders right about now?
Yeah.
That talking point is pretty much moot.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where people move and you can't. You could lock down the borders, but it's just the virus. It's just one of those things. You never know who has it. It transmits from people fairly easily. So
extremely easy.
Yeah. Much easier than people think.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that China was lying about. They told the World Health Organization that the virus doesn't easily transmit from human to human.
Yeah.
And then the WHO goes out and starts tweeting how it's not anything to worry about because it's not transmittable.
Yeah.
Which was a complete lie.
Which was the exact opposite of what it is. So
Exactly.
What were you going to say, Dennis?
In Italy today, they went past 11,500 deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't seem to be flattening out, but they did report more younger people are coming in with it.
Yeah. It's still the percentages are still very skewed towards older people, but I mean it affects younger people. We have speaking of, there's head coach. He is in a hospital. Let me ask him. he is in a hospital in Las Vegas right now with pneumonia, which they think was COVID-19. So, yeah.
Who is this person?
The coach. He popped in the comment. You can see his comments on YouTube if you click on there. Or actually, if you look at the main screen for StreamYard, if you just click on public comments, you'll see head coach.
I had private chat clicked.
Okay, yeah, go to public chat and you'll see head coach. Yeah, so he as of last night, he was waiting for the results of the test.
I've had some people that I know that were from Italy. I mean, 50 years ago, but still they go there every year, and they're panicking to the point where they're getting a little bit hysterical. Thinking that they actually have the virus and that sort of thing, and they got tested and it was negative, thankfully, but still, it's there's so much disinformation going on. I don't know who to believe.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it's very confusing for sure, because you just don't know.
Mark, he was talking about older people on our news tonight. There was 2 people in England who were born in 1908, and they both got their 112th birthday today.
Yep.
And they said that the man is the oldest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked old, but I mean, he was still moving around.
Yeah. They had a lady here in where was it? New York, maybe. She's 103, and she just got. She was in the hospital for COVID-19 and recovered. And when they tested her blood, they found that she had the antibody to the Spanish flu as well, because she was a newborn in 1918. So she had So that is, you don't want to mess with that lady. She'd probably kick your ass. 102 years old.
She's got the blood that everybody wants.
Yeah. So she was probably her mother was probably pregnant with her during the flu, and she probably passed on the antibodies. She survived that, didn't catch it, and made it all the way through. And then I think she was I don't think she was on a ventilator. I think she was just in the hospital for a few days and then back out. And she celebrated her birthday a couple days ago. So it's just, it's very, very interesting. So, new reality for probably another month or two, I would imagine. I don't think we're changing anything for, I got to imagine, until at least the end of May. So.
Yeah, Trump saying that he would like for us to reopen back in, by Easter. I think that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, I think so. So it's not with the way. That's only 2 weeks away. So how much is going to happen? How about you, Wes? Are you working from home now, or are you still going in?
I'm basically off on sick leave for a couple weeks, so
okay.
I don't know if I'll go back and try to work from here or what.
Okay.
Or just continue the sick leave.
Are you sick or not?
No, not sick.
Okay. All right. You just took sick leave and
just not essential, and kind of they said I could just take some sick leave.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Very good. That's good.
Yeah. It's
the way you get paid, and everyone's not suffering economically.
Right.
Yeah. Which is important. Yeah. That's going to be the challenge. All the people that couldn't work because of stuff shutting down. So it's going to be
I did hear one rumor of a company telling their salaried employees that they're not going to pay them their full amount because they're getting the $1,200 from the government.
Oh yeah, some company in Texas that's sent out an email saying you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid whatever you get paid, less the amount that you get from the government for the So
can you say lawsuit?
Yeah, I don't know. That's even if it isn't, even if it's perfectly legal, they've got to be like, yeah, that's just not good PR. I mean,
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. Yeah.
yeah. So, man, yeah.
I can imagine once all this is over, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits just so lawyers can get some money back and people can get some quick money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there will be a lot. Yeah, you're probably, unfortunately, you're probably right. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, the lawyers have their reputation for a reason.
Yeah.
They used to go evidence cases, now they're virus cases.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. But I got to imagine there's going to be a lot of labor law lawsuits and that type of thing, unemployment, all that type of stuff. Saying.
What's happened with the Democrats with Biden and Sanders? Is one taken over, or they notified one, or what? Is it still between two of them?
I think it's technically between two, but yeah.
It's basically Biden, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sanders
isn't giving up yet. But it's basically over.
It's going to be interesting because now they're wondering about whether they will actually have the convention or not. So how do they go through and do all? I mean, I guess you could do it virtually, but how do they determine a nominee? I guess the party makes up its own rules to a certain extent, so they can change the rules to accommodate whatever the situation.
They completely make up their own rules.
Yeah, both parties do.
So, yeah, they are private companies. They're not part of the government, so they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just as long as the rest of the people in the party are happy with what they're doing, it's completely up to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. That old Chinese. I don't know if it's a Chinese proverb, but that saying, you live in interesting times. Well, here we are.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Uncharted territory for all of us.
Yeah, pretty much every day is new and different. So it's it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. So just go with the flow as much as you can. So let's talk a little photography, I guess. Any I don't know. It looks like there's some deals out there. Anybody take advantage of any?
No.
Deals?
I haven't been able to find any deals.
I've seen some stuff on was it Adorama or B&H that came in my feed where they had some kind of special sale that they were running this last week, and I don't know whether I think it covered some photography, but it wasn't like a specific manufacturer or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. What are they gonna do to try to jumpstart sales once things kind of settle down a little bit? But so no equipment purchases, nothing like that in the last week or so.
No.
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Me neither. It's been interesting. That's for sure. Let me go ahead and share the group here. There's actually a fair amount of images, which is good. You were able to get out now that they close the park there, Wes, where you normally go?
The state park is closed, but
Okay.
like I said, the city parks and the county parks, if it's not like a playground type place, it's open.
Still open. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Prairie where you go to, that's a local. That's a city one, isn't it? Paynes Prairie.
Yeah. Well, Paynes Prairie is a state park, but the Sweetwater Wetlands where we went is a city park that's borders on the edge of Paynes Prairie.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
so that's still open then, right?
Yeah, that's open.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, hopefully people are halfway reasonable and don't abuse it. Where you get like 50 people in groups doing stuff out there, because then they'll probably crack down on it and close it down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was a decent number of people out there, but there's a lot of room, so people are able to stay away from each other.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the key. I mean, that's what they closed a lot of the parks here in our county because people, like the whole neighborhood would congregate at the park, and all the kids were playing on the playground equipment. It's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they've got like benches and stuff like roped off where you can't sit down or anything. It's
Yeah.
just kind of go out there, walk around, do your thing, but don't.
Yeah. Don't interact with
congregate.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is probably the way it should be. But yeah, they're I've got a buddy who's in Chicago, and they pretty much closed down the lakefront there. You know, they've got that huge path that runs down along the lakefront, and they had to close that down because people were just out, you know, playing soccer, you know, basketball, doing it like it was a summer holiday weekend or something, and they're like, nope, we're done, we're closing it down. So it's unfortunate, but probably needs to happen. So let's see here. Okay, let me share this screen and see what we got. We got a few. So okay, so here's Timmy. I think Okay, yeah, this one was from last week from Pat.
My son Tim just said
Oh,
he
yeah.
to be backstage.
Yes, he is. There he is. Let's see if he's there. You there, Tim?
Apparently, I can't see my picture.
Okay. How you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming through loud and clear.
Could I get you? I can't, my picture's not come out. Can you see me?
No.
Audio's fine, but video isn't.
All right. Oh, weird. There's a webcams on. I think this one's not worked well with this computer since the early days.
Okay.
I'll just talk to you guys.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, glad to have you here. So how are you dealing with this? Any what's going on with you? Have you been are you still able to work or?
No, my job's non-critical, so I've got to stay home.
Okay, all right. So you're sheltering in place then, or stay at home?
Yeah, getting a lot of gardening done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I heard they were doing a thing. What was it? It was from somewhere in the UK. Maybe it was around London or whatever. But there were a bunch of people gathered like at a park, and they had the police come by, and they were on a megaphone, and they're like, "Excuse me, please get off the green. This is not a party. It's not a holiday." They were trying to disperse people from the park, and I guess people weren't cooperating. So, but we were commenting, boy, that the police are so polite over there.
Don't piss them off. They won't be polite then.
Yeah. But, yeah, the initial response from a typical American police officer is going to be much more. It's not going to be. It's going to be a little more direct, probably.
Yeah, they just shoot you and then tell you to get off the line.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you're supposed to get out there.
Yeah.
Oh man. So that I think this is the first image for this week, and this is Simi. So I'm assuming this was taken on the 22nd. So I guess he's not in shelter in place at this point. Maybe he is now. It was a week ago. But he's got that interesting, looks like that pastel kind of painting effect on it, which is
the series he's done is really neat. I like it.
Yeah, he's done a very good job. There you go, 3 of them, foreground, middle, and back.
Rule of threes.
Yep. He's got the rule of thirds nailed there. Yeah, that's
rule of threes.
Yeah, he's got very good, and that's a nice treatment of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yep. There goes. Long exposure, no clouds. 13 minutes? No, 13 seconds, yeah. 13-second exposure, 7 seconds. The remainder fast change to 120 before exposure. Oh, okay, so he zoomed.
Oh, that's neat. I thought this was done in post, but
So he did it, went from 24 to 120, so he zoomed in. So you get that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've played around with that a little bit, but yeah, you've got to really go, depending how fast you zoom, you can get, oh, there you are, Tim. I can see you now.
switched to 480 and it worked.
Yeah, you can get a very kind of weird, interesting.
Yeah, it's almost like a space jump kind of look if you do it the whole time you're zooming.
Yeah, it's like a time warp type of thing. Yeah, going through a
This is
wormhole.
like, yeah, it did like the first exposure and at the end he zoomed, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that's very neat. And then he did that, whatever that same kind of post. Looks like a painting, Yeah, that's very nice. Good stuff, Timmy.
Yeah, Simmy's going abstract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, there we go. And this is after he nibbled on one of the mushrooms he found on the Okay, so another thing, 15 seconds. Yep, and a slow change to 120. So this is where you kind of get that, like you were saying, Wes.
Yeah, this is more what I'm used to seeing with the zoom effect thing.
Yeah, kind of a extended.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's neat with the sun right in the middle of the right in the middle of the tree there.
You can do that with focusing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Move your focusing during the exposure.
Yeah.
Has a really good effect with fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Whites and highlights enhanced in post. Okay. All right. So we brought out the highlight. Very nice. Yeah. That is okay. Here's Jose. Black Phoebe. Looks like it's sitting on a fence or wire of some kind. That's well done. Yeah. 600 millimeter. Yeah, those are little birds. Yeah.
Yeah, Phoebes are little and they move a lot.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder how many exposures he needed to get the one that was nice. Yeah, I mean they're an inch or two tall at tops. It seems like.
Yeah.
And that's nice. You got a nice background against it. Obviously being that close just obliterates the background, but you get a nice color, which is very nice for the color of the bird. Yeah. That's very nice.
You've got a little catch light in the eye.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
I'd Photoshop the little white piece of whatever that is though in the corner.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Bird poop?
Yeah, I'd probably clean it up a little bit. Minor thing overall.
Then you got to put a shopping trolley down here in the moon over here. then it would have a real picture. Then it would be a real image.
Yeah, it's a good image. I mean, he's using a lot of good time proven, ideas in photography. The rule of thirds, the putting the bird off to the left so it has some visual space to look into. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot of little things that add up to a good composition. Yeah,
nice, and it's an interesting perch that he's on. You got some stuff there. Yeah, very nice. That's and as we look, I think we looked up this lens last time. That's a nice lens that he's using. Okay, Wes. Now we got the same Osprey. I'm assuming you just kind of shot him in flight.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same one, but there were several around. So
okay, all right. Okay, flying and looking for something to get.
Yeah, I was joking with I did this with my little EOS M camera with my big 150 to 600 lens.
Oh, okay.
I was in the backyard with it on Wednesday, joking with some people in the EOS M forum, or not forum, but Facebook group, joking about that combination. I decided to take it to the park and see what it would do. So these are all images with a little mirrorless camera with my giant lens on the back of it.
Yeah.
On the front of it.
So that's a 1200. That's basically a 1200 millimeter equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 960. Same. It's the same as my 80D, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Same sensor. Yeah. Just the mirrorless version.
It's good. Really nice.
It worked okay. Yeah. It's not as good as the DSLR, but it worked.
Yeah.
In what respect?
It's slower to focus and it doesn't stay locked on as well.
Okay. Which are kind of two key things you like when you're tracking a moving object.
Yeah.
It is a bit. So another, apparently, some camera manufacturers are putting in fuzzy logic into the cameras where they can actually tell whether you're photographing a moose or a bird or a whatever, and then it automatically changes its way it focuses depending on what type of animal you're actually photographing.
Oh, wow. Huh. I don't know if I guess if they do it right, it could be good, but I could also see if it's not done right, it might make it worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of figuring on the size and the speed of movement, probably. Yeah.
Shape.
Yeah. Huh.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Just all that stuff on a little chip the size of your thumbnail, pretty much. Yeah. No, this is nice. I like the positioning of this in the frame. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how its left wing is so much longer than the right in this, just from the perspective, of course.
Yeah, yeah. It looks, yeah, because it was right in your plane of focus, pretty much. Yeah. So the one, yeah, it looks like he's got 1.5 wings, not 2. It's amazing that bird can fly with 1.5 wings.
Wes, these birds, they tend to fly by themselves. You don't see them flying with others, offspring.
Yeah, they're raptors, so they don't really fly together.
Yeah.
They just do their own thing.
I would imagine one time they would do that when they're mating.
Yeah.
If they do that like eagles.
Yeah.
It's more of like a fighting flight together kind of thing. They're kind of dancing around, yeah.
Pretty solitary, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, it's got his tongue out there.
His tongue's sticking out.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's a nice series of images there, Wes.
When you're doing white balance on this, are you just putting on automatic and just tweaking it in post?
I usually just set it to daylight. If it's just a sunny day, or cloudy if it's a cloudy day, and then in post, if I don't like it, I'll just change it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I imagine that depending on what's on the ground, the feathers and most of its body's in shadows technically, so it can be a bit on the blue side or whatever color is on the bottom of below it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Normally I would overexpose too when I'm doing birds in flight, but I didn't do that yesterday. I just let it do its thing, and it was pretty dark underneath the wings before I edited it.
So what do you normally do? Half an exposure?
Usually like one stop.
Okay. All right.
Is good, depending.
Yeah. Just enough to get
You're not worried about. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not worried about blowing out the highlights on top of the head or anything like that?
No, not too bad. The sensor has pretty good dynamic range to it, so it's not.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a nice series of images. Nice cloudless. Now this is a great story. I looked at it briefly.
Mm-hmm.
You got a cormorant, and he's like, "Hey, look at me! I've got dinner."
Showing off here.
Uh huh.
Okay.
You got a catfish, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he just literally like picked that out of the bottom of the. Oh, look at the snails on there too. Huh.
Yeah, there's snails from the limpkins and the snail kites, and then in the background you got some whistling ducks.
Yep.
Black-bellied whistling ducks.
Okay.
Do they actually whistle?
Their quack or whatever you want to call it sounds kind of like a whistle.
Okay, so this guy's prancing around going, "Look at me, look at me."
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy's like, "Psych, I got it."
Yeah, and then he dropped the fish, and this guy grabbed it.
So the cormorant dropped it, and then the heron swooped down and grabbed it.
Yeah, that's the same fish.
The poor fish, he got stabbed.
Yeah, then he put it in the mud and stabbed it, and I don't know what he was doing all kinds of weird stuff with that fish.
Huh. Wow, that's neat though. He kind of watched it happen. How long was it? How long did the cormorant have it before the heron?
Not long, a couple 20 seconds maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And what did the cormorant do after he lost the fish?
He just sat there looking dejected for a little while, and then he went back out and caught another one and flew off in the other direction with it.
Oh, okay. He figured it out then. He's like,
He didn't bring that one back.
Okay. Well, at least he caught another one. So.
Yeah.
That's an interesting series. I like that. That's good. And that's a great shot too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the pose on that one.
Mm-hmm. He's got one leg up. He's got his neck is kind of in that little S shape. It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Came out very nice. Yeah. Yep. Poor fish. Oh well. Sucks to be him. All right. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, that's a neat place to go, and it's so close to your. I mean, it's a 10-minute drive for you at most, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice. That's a great resource. There we go. And here we got gator and great blue heron. So the gator's just out there or whatever, and the heron's fishing right now. Is this the same heron?
Yeah, same one.
Okay. Before or after the catfish?
I think that was before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you have to keep an eye out for these gators when you're
What's
there?
that?
Do you have to keep an eye out for these gators coming up to you? And
No, they won't bother humans unless you're like basically provoke them.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's
we're large enough creatures that they don't really try to eat us unless you provoke them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be standing around. I'd be gone.
Well,
yeah.
now James, see, 600 mil. Yeah, so he's a few feet away at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you don't want to mess around. You don't want to be in the strike zone basically, and they can move pretty fast. I mean, they're pretty quick.
They eat the bird.
Not that bird. Smaller birds.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, so we got the heron and the gator hanging out. And here's the gator.
Yeah, went after a fish or something. I don't know what it was. But
Okay, and the bird's like, "Hey, look at that!"
I just saw it start to move fast. Did some shots.
Yeah, that's a neat one. Yeah, the bird's like, "Hey."
What's the largest alligator you've seen?
What's that?
What's the largest alligator you've seen?
Maybe 10 feet or 12 feet or so.
Wow.
Yeah, when we were out there, I saw a couple that were deep, maybe not 6 or 8 feet long though. I mean, there's some decent sized ones floating around. So, yeah, that's a great one. That bird's like, "Whoa!" Got his attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Nice color, nice lighting on the bird. Yeah. Very nice.
Early morning or late evening?
Late evening, sunset.
Yeah. What was that? Okay. Yeah. 10:31. Wow, that's when it was modified. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 6 o'clock. Yeah, 5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it was probably 6:30 or 7, somewhere around.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, nice warm light. And here we got Jose with his mallard.
It's really
Yeah.
background. Nice clean
Mm-hmm.
background.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And it's very nice. Yeah. Perfect spot to have the bird there, and you can get a good idea of the setting, but doesn't distract from the subject. So very nice. Are you going to get this lens for your camera, Dennis?
No, it's a bit expensive.
Come on.
Yeah.
You'll buy it on eBay.
Yeah, the Sony stuff's really expensive. Maybe I'd consider getting one made by another manufacturer.
Yeah.
Because I think Sony stuff.
You could probably find one used for $1,000, maybe. What do these go for? $1,800, if I remember from looking at what they were selling for new, something like that. Yeah, you might be able to find one for $1,000, but
What size is the lens again? Because I can't read it.
200 to 600,
Right.
5.6 to 6.3. So,
Yeah, I'm looking on eBay and I'm seeing them for $1,900.
ooh, man, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Now, I was going to say you could buy it with your recovery check that you're sending out. But are they? Because you're in the UK, are they going to do something similar to that, Dennis and Tim? Are they going to do an economic stimulus package there?
In the UK, yeah, they're paying everyone's wages, 80% of your wages.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah.
For how long? How long are they committed to doing that so far?
Well, they've committed for 3 months.
3 months? Okay.
Yeah. You're getting paid, aren't you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm getting paid, but the company would have folded if the government intervened. They couldn't have folded its plans.
Okay. So they're doing 80% of wages for 3 months then.
Yeah, it's up to a maximum of £2,500 a month.
Okay. All right.
Nothing's helpful.
It's what?
I said, if it's getting nothing, it's helpful to have something.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to do that because otherwise you're going to have law and order breakdown, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, yeah, it's one of those things where it wasn't your fault. It wasn't the company's fault. It was the government's fault because of the health crisis. I mean, that's essentially the company had to shut down due to a government order. So,
Yeah.
That's.
And that's really the only silver lining I can see out of all of this, because once all this crap ends, England has a pretty good economy. The United States has an excellent economy. Once all this goes away, we're going to be roaring right back.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while, but yeah, I mean, the stuff was there. The only question is how much of the government's spending to kind of get through it, and what are going to be the effects of that? So
yeah, I heard the stimulus package is going to cost every American $8,000.
Yeah, and what I've also seen is the government is thinking about. I don't know if I haven't seen anything announced, but some economists and investment people are saying, could we see 100-year bond? The government issue a 100-year treasury bond to finance this, because the interest rates are so low right now. So they can finance, say, $5 trillion, $6 trillion, or whatever, because they're going to end up doing something else down the road. Can you finance 5 or 6 trillion for 50 or 100 years at 1% interest? So who knows?
Who would buy a 100-year bond?
Yeah. If the government issues it, somebody will buy it.
30-year maybe, but 100-year won't even be around.
Well, they're the beneficiary.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll probably see something. I could see a 50-year. I could see a 50-year bond come out. Yeah, because 30 years have been around for a long time. So yeah, they've got with the interest rates as low as it is, if there's enough interest, they could enough interest in buying a bond like that, they could do like a 50-year bond or something.
What do you think about negative interest rates? I think they're a bad idea.
I think they are too, but it doesn't. I mean, economically, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
No.
Short term it can work. Long term, there's no benefit to it. I don't think.
From what I understand, the countries that have tried it, they did so with the idea that if the money is not in the bank, it's with the consumer, and if they have the money sitting around, they're more likely to spend it. But in practice, what ends up happening is they end up hoarding it. But the sales of safes goes through the roof, and everyone's buying safes to keep their money in it.
Yeah.
So it actually does nothing.
Yeah. I would tend to agree to that. But yeah, short term, yeah, you can make a case for it. Long term, I just don't see it being. It's not practical.
Yeah.
But I don't think this mallard really cares about that one way or the other.
Yeah, it's good to be a duck, isn't it?
It's good to be a duck. Yeah, duck's life. It's just ducky. That's it. Okay, and here's my contribution. I call it social distancing.
Yeah. Is this your actual bin at home?
This is like the glass recycling dumpster for our community. So you take it, and it's, of course, it was more full than usual, and there was more alcohol bottles in it than usual. So
you have to wonder how much alcohol sales have gone up in the past week or two. I bought more. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went shopping, last Friday night and bought a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Toilet paper and beer. That's all I need.
Yeah. But yeah, there was more. I mean, there's usually a lot of wine, whatever, but there was more in it than normal. So, well, of course, this was right after we dumped our box. So I did have some good beer in the last couple of weeks. I had a Bourbon County Stout. I had some 60-minute IPA, but the Bacardi wasn't ours. The Jose Cuervo, the wine, So that's my take on social distancing. But there was more liquor bottles than normal in the recycle bin this week. So kind of interesting. There we go. All right. So this is from your visit to York last year, right?
Yeah, I was going back through some of the stuff, and I thought I would reprocess them using the GIMP this time instead of the Sony software.
Okay. All right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like that starburst too. And
that lens.
Yeah, this was with a 15mm wide-angle lens.
Okay.
I remember I stood the camera on top of a barrel outside the shop, and it was 5-second exposure.
F0.
Yeah. Was
And
it
a
the
0mm lens.
Yeah.
It's manual focus lens on a Sony camera.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's just you just set it there and go because it focuses everywhere.
I would imagine you're using a fairly small aperture to get that nice starburst effect.
Yeah,
The depth field.
this would have been wide open, which is 4.5 on this lens.
Really wide open.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you still got that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it for my super wide camera I bought because there's no viewfinder, so I just set it on f8 and away you go. Everything's in focus.
Yep. Oh, that's nice. So this is okay. So they've got this. This is inside.
Yeah, this is a museum.
Okay. All right. So street scene in the museum.
Yeah, I was lucky really. The people standing in the middle weren't moving around.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and the horse was good because that's stuffed.
It's not. It hasn't moved in quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do get nice sun stars with a such a lens. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the blue up here. Yeah, I mean that's a nice scene. Very nice. So you get that those sun stars with 4.5. That's what that was. Wow.
Yeah, now, this was the band stage at Seaside Resort.
Yep, the Brighton Pier. Yep.
Which I cropped this one a bit because there was a guy standing on the beach. I got rid of him. And
Okay.
I was using GIMP filters, which were like very, very like foggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took the contrast down a bit and the sharpness because that lens is pretty sharp.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is this, if I remember right, is this pier the longest one in the UK?
No, that's down the road from where we live here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is on the south coast of England.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's neat. That's there's some nice detail in the in that bandstand there.
Yeah, I think they spent a lot of money doing it up.
Yeah. It looks like it's kind of not really, not Oriental, but more Victorian theme probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a Victorian seaside resort.
Mm-hmm.
How old is this? Do you know?
No, can't give you that, Frank.
Well, it's not modern by any means. You know, it's not.
If it is, then it would have been built in keeping with the rest of the place, you know, because all the piers are Victorian, so
Yeah.
built at the same time, I would think.
Yeah. 1880, something like that.
Yeah, this seaside resort had 2 piers, but one burned down.
Okay.
It's been left as a wreck, and that's the next one which I've done.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite nice.
Very nice. Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, nice colors and very nice. Okay, and here's the one that was burned down.
Yeah, now
Number 2.
this one I did play with because there was more boys in the sea, but you call them bowies, didn't you?
Okay.
Yeah, I took a few of them out. And
Oh, okay.
the reason behind the pier was a wind generating farm the whole horizon was full of windmills.
Oh, so all across back here was all.
Yeah, under the pier and everything. So I climbed them out.
Okay, and then there were pierings that went out from here out to the pier. Okay.
Yeah, the pier was destroyed by fire years ago, and it was going to cost millions to fix it. So they just left it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a photographer's paradise. When you go down there, you see the guys with their tripods getting all the different angles. And, yeah, and this one I applied 2 cartoon filters to this from GIMP. Yeah.
Okay. So it brought out what's nice is it looks like extra clarity on the beach. Well, on the whole image, but it really brings out the stones on the beach.
Yeah, this one I took with the Voigtlander 50mm f1.2.
Oh, okay. Which is a nice lens. Very nice. Yeah, that's neat. So you took out a bunch of stuff between here and the pier, and then took out all the modern stuff in the back.
Stuff which was across the back there. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, kind of condensed it down to the essentials. Then took it down. Well, there's the pier. There's some pilings and some water.
Yeah, I changed the white balance. I just really played around with this. Then I framed it.
Well, it's nice. I like the shadows here of the pilings. That's nice.
The frame suits the picture.
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Yeah, good job. That's nice.
Yeah. So that's all I can really do, because otherwise, if you want pictures of my front door.
Now, what I want to know is there was some guy in the UK. I follow like running forums and stuff. There was, because all these races have been canceled, like the London Marathon has been canceled. All these events have been canceled. That some guy in the UK, he did a Facebook live stream as he ran a marathon in his garden. He ran laps around his garden to do a full 26.2 miles. Wow. and he streamed it on Facebook Live or something like that. So I said, Dennis has a garden. I want Dennis to get out there and do a marathon in your garden.
Yeah, I can run down the end of the driveway and lay on the floor and gasp for breath. Yeah.
Yeah, but Tim will come along and pick you up and drag you in the house.
Yeah.
I've
got my own private nurse now. My daughter's passed her exam, so.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, Tim's young and strapping and healthy. He can go out and run laps around the garden, I think.
Oh yeah, my gardening's been killing me.
Okay.
Yeah, you got no excuse now. The next 3 months, it should look like Kew Gardens by the time this is over.
Yeah. But there was a guy in was it France that he ran a marathon on his patio, like his back patio on his apartment building. So it was literally like 30 feet, and he just ran back and forth. It took him 7 hours, and he did. Yeah, I was like, okay, that sounds like fun.
It really runs that having sex is equal to running 5 miles. So work it out.
Okay. Okay, work it out. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's you hear about people who are forced to stay at home because of this. They're re-landscaping their yard and doing all kinds of stuff. So we expect you, Dennis, will have a new garden here, a new garden scene, because you've done a lot of images from the garden. So we expect we do that.
I've stuck some plants in,
Okay.
Cleaned up the greenhouse. Got 5 things to do now, otherwise we'll go stir crazy.
Yeah. That is true. It's interesting. All the people that are forced to work from home. Not you, Dennis, because every day is a Sunday for you, but for us that are still working, people that are forced to work from home.
Same with you, mate. Yeah. What's this one? Yeah.
What is it? Zoom, the video conference service that everybody uses. I guess there was a little meme of people that were forced working at home and trying to do meetings and conferences using Zoom, and some very unfortunate outcomes of that. Like one guy was actually sitting in his chair doing a Zoom meeting, but he was nude and he stood up. And you hear the other people in the meeting go, the video's on. And the guy goes, oh, pro tip, never do Zoom naked, is what he said.
Yeah.
There was another lady who was carrying around her laptop with the Zoom, and she had to go to the bathroom. So she set the laptop down on the floor and sat down, and it was a side angle, I guess. So you didn't really see anything. And they're like, oh, you hear all the people going, oh my God.
Is Zoom free? Step up to if X amount of people use it?
You can do a free account. Like I use Zoom and I have a free account. So 2 people. So if I were to connect with one other person on Zoom, I get unlimited use. But if you have more than 2 people, it's limited to 40 minutes or 45 minutes. So I could connect up to 15 or 20 people, but it would only be like a 30 or 40 minute conference. So.
And then you can switch off the conference and sign back in.
Well, yeah, you could do that. There's probably a way of them to track it, but yeah, so many companies are being forced to do that because everybody's got to work from home, so they're trying to figure out ways to keep people connected. So.
Yeah, my college teacher is using Zoom, and she's limited it to 40 minutes, and that's it.
Yep, and that's probably because of the restrict, because there's more than 2 people, more than 3 people on the screen at a time.
Yeah, it is 8 people on.
Yeah, yep, that's because of in order to get more than 40 minutes, you got to pay whatever it is, $20, 20 pounds a month or something like that. So.
Good.
Yep. Okay, so I missed all these comments. So Joe's in the comments. So I hope Joe's doing well. What is he? Now that's a fire. What was he looking at? I don't know what he was looking at.
The pier.
Oh, the pier. Yeah, that was a big fire. Yeah, you could have barbecued quite a bit on that one, Joe. So, all right, guys. Hey, good show. Everybody, stay safe. Tim, great to see you again.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see you next week.
I haven't got to get out for work tomorrow.
Okay. So what are you finding little projects to do? Things that you've been meaning to do?
We're producing online content because I work at a gymnastics club, so the kids are sending in videos, and I'm sort of putting the overlays on them for the younger kids to watch the older kids do it.
Okay.
So learn at home. So I mean, I've got stuff to do, and so my gardener kept me going for about 3 months.
Okay. Good. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people having to improvise a little bit, figure out new ways to do things. I know on my end, I've had a number of clients that we had meetings scheduled, and when all this happened, I get emails or whatever from them saying I'm working from home and I can't stop working, basically, because now that they're home, they feel like they always have to be doing something. So their normal 8-hour day is becoming a 12-hour day because they feel like they never leave the office. So it's kind of.
That's the only thing I've noticed, actually. I've spent all day editing these videos, thinking, I don't work that long normally in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sort
of obliged to do it.
Yeah, no, it's tough because there's no separation between work and home life, so it's a challenge a lot of times to do it. So, all right.
I'm wondering whether or not this staying home stuff is going to actually result in a baby boom.
Yeah,
I think it will be. Yeah, yep. Corona babies. We're gonna have a Corona baby boom in like December, January, February, I think.
And I heard the horses are going up because they're fed up with one another.
Oh, yep. And I saw something that condoms are in short supply too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the world's largest, which I'm assuming is Trojan or whatever. They're saying they're running out of condoms. So there's the baby boom. We're gonna have a baby bump, a Corona bump. We're gonna have a Corona bump, I guess. A few extra babies early next year probably. Yeah, but you gotta do something to fill the time. I mean, if you're not gonna run in your garden, you might as well,
Lay on your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did 20 miles today.
In your bedroom.
Yeah. Oh man. Yep. Like Joe D says, Corona babies. Yep. Corona babies. So, all right, guys. Good. Good show. Everybody stay safe and healthy. Adhere to the local law enforcement or what do you say in the UK? Constable? What is it?
Isn't it?
Yes. Adhere to whatever the local government tells you to do, I guess. And
the old built-in.
yeah. And we'll be here next week, I'm sure, unless something happens. But I expect to be here for every week for quite a while since I'm not going anywhere. So, all right, good one, guys. Stay safe, be healthy, and we'll see you next week. All right, take care.
Good seeing you.
All right,
See ya.
See you, Tim.
See you, Tim. See you, Frank. Wes.